Hello and welcome to our 1-year backpacking series. I'm Brooke and we are 10 months into our year-long adventure. We have just spent the last 2 weeks in Panama and tomorrow we are being collected for the 4-day island hopping speedboat version from Panama to Colombia with San Blas Adventures. I get pretty boat sick so we couldn't do the sailing option, but with this one we get to sleep on the islands, which sounds better to me. I'm going to bring you along so you can see exactly what it's like. Good morning, it is 3:45 in the morning and we are up and waiting for our pickup to the San Blas Islands. We've just loaded up all of our bags and we're on the boat. Everything's in plastic bags because we're expected to get pretty wet. It's been like 5 minutes and we've already broken down. Another boat's just coming to bring us tools and fuel. We've just arrived at our first island. It was only 30 minutes from mainland and it is so gorgeous. So on this first island we have 3 to 4 hours and this is where we have lunch as well, and it's called Isla Naranja. We've just had our lunch. It was coconut chicken curry with rice, and now we've got around another hour on this island before we move on to the one that we're sleeping on. Yeah. We've just arrived on the island that we're sleeping on and it is insane. We've just arrived at the island we're sleeping on. We were all in like this little hut with hammocks. I'll show you. So this is where we'll be sleeping and they're going to put the hammocks up between all of these poles. Look at him in the size of my hand. Look at how small he is.
It was impressive. Did you get your stick?
Good morning, it is our first day waking up on the San Blas Islands. Considering we all had to sleep in hammocks like right next to each other, everyone seemed to sleep fairly well. This place is absolutely unbelievable. I cannot believe how gorgeous it is. And also, I don't know if it's the same for all other tours, but only our boat stayed on this island, so everyone that's on our trip are the only people that was allowed to stay here, which made it feel like so cool. When we got up this morning, we walked straight from our hammock into the sea and watched sunrise. Breakfast is at 7, which is in about 5 minutes, and then we move on to the next island, which is where we have our lunch. So this is the whole island. We slept in these huts here in hammocks, And then this is the beach that we got to wake up to this morning. We arrived at our second island of the day. It was only 30 minutes to get to this one, but we did get a little bit wet this time. Here we get time for snorkeling, we have lunch, and we also have a history lesson with a local Kuna guy.
They lived around the Gulf of Urubá, which is the gulf that you will cross to get from Capurganá to Mekogli.
We've arrived at our last island today, which is where we're going to be sleeping. We're sleeping in these hammocks just behind me, and I think this might be one of my favourite ones. It is so gorgeous, and once again we have it all to ourselves.
That's all that's in that. Well, the rice is really nice as well. Bell peppers, that's the one. And then
we've just arrived at our first island of the day, and there are so many animals here. There's a massive turkey that's kind of screaming at everyone, but there's also baby piglets and puppies and big pigs too. We've arrived at our last island of the day and the last island that we'll be sleeping on, and we have beds. Everyone had to go and allocate their own room, and we've been really lucky. We've both got a double bed and we're only sharing with our two friends. And this is our room. So on this island we have a local rowing boat competition, beach volleyball, and then we have some of the dancers from the other island coming to do a show.
Cheers to all of you.
That's a nice fish.
Cheers!
No, this fucking melon.
We just arrived at the border crossing between Colombia and Panama, so we have to get off, go through passport control, and then get one more boat into Colombia. We have officially arrived in Colombia. We had around a half-hour boat journey from immigration in Panama. Now we're at a beach for a little while to have lunch, and then we move on to our last spot where the trip ends.